What's up? What's happening? What is going on, folks? It's a cool afternoon here just outside the mile-high city of Aurora, Colorado, as we welcome you to the Denver Motorsports Park for stop number 4 of the 2022 Mission BBQ Cup Series Chase for the Championship, the Denver 300K. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, lads of all ages, as we once again welcome you to the track with live coverage on the North American Sim Racing Network. And from high in the sky in the press box, my name is Trey Ray for the NESRN. We begin the Casa Bonita Denver Double this weekend with a 24-lap race around this 3.75-mile road course layout of the Denver Motorsports Park. Definitely set to be a fun one here. This marks our last road course race of the season. And of course, since it's on it, what better way to mark our last road course race of the season and in Mission BBQ Cup Series history than for it to be on a Roval. It's going to get pretty wild here at the Denver Motorsports Park. And it was a pretty wild race a couple of days ago at the Gateway International Raceway that saw the number 54 of Diego Vasquez go to Gatorade Victory Lane for the second time in his Mission BBQ Cup Series career, the second time in 3 races that 54 has finished first under the checkered flag. He starts 28th on the grid here this afternoon. We'll have to see how he can fare here at Denver. It's set to be a fun one here for our 4th race of the Chase for the Championship. And speaking of the Chase for the Championship, let's go to your point standings of your chase at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Derek Hamill is up front in the chase with Logan Williams right behind him, 55 points behind the 47 machine. Jesse Turner now falls down to 3rd. He is 150 points behind, and that Gateway race really shook things up in the championship, and it really stagnated a lot of guys that were in the battle to being outside of the battle. You got Keegan Thompson back up to 4th, minus 190 back. Then Braden Perez, minus 215 in 5th. He is the first car that is mathematically one race behind Derek Hamill. Then you got Will Parrish with his struggles a couple of days ago at Gateway, minus 245 away from Derek Hamill. Matt Wolf, minus 295, but the second he takes the green flag here this afternoon, that's going to go down to minus 290 since Wolf is the pole sitter. Brendan Wilmington with his struggles, minus 300. Dano Georgi with his struggles at Gateway, minus 350. Ryan Durrani, minus 362 as well. Mitchell Collins, minus 380. And Justin Zeidel, only 3 races into the chase, is already a whopping minus 445 points away from Derek Hamill. That is over 2 races worth of points. So if Zeidel wants any shot of winning this championship, he needs to have a spectacular Casa Bonita Denver Double here this weekend. But we'll go into where all of your chase drivers are starting, and a lot of them are starting up towards the front of the field. Matt Wolf and Will Parrish make up the front row here this afternoon. Ryan Durrani is 3rd, so the podium right now populated by chase drivers go all the way down. Justin Zeidel starts 9th. Jesse Turner 11th. Dano Georgi 12th. Brendan Wilmington 13th. Logan Williams 18th, Keegan Thompson 19th, Mitchell Collins 29th, and then Derek Hamill 33rd rounds out your chase drivers on the grid here this afternoon. So Hamill in 33rd is the Braden Perez is 39th. So Perez is going to have a lot of work ahead of him today. And we saw a little bit of controversy between Perez and Aiden McCrow last year with McCrow spinning out the 42 of Perez spinning out the 42 of McCrow right after pit stops. And it's going to be a fun one here. And we'll get into the finer details later on in the race. But it's now time for the moment you've all been waiting for. That time of the broadcast again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go down trackside to get the most famous words in motorsports to kick off the final road racing event in the Mission BBQ Cup Series, the Denver 300K.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines roar to life on the apron here at Denver. We're just moments away from dropping the green flag for today's race. Like we said at the top of the show, Matt Wolf is on the pole position. To his outside is Will Parrish, and rounding out your starting podium is the 38 of Ryan Durrani. Let's make sure the rest of the field rolls off. A little bit of a slow start for Jordan Lopez in the 81. But he's going to get moving along with Nathan Smith. Field goes onto the apron of the oval layout. You see that wall right in the middle of the back straightaway. That means we are going into the infield. And we are getting ready for quite the exciting race through Roval Turn 3. And here we are. If this is your first time looking at this track, we'll have a little marker on the bottom right-hand side of your screen to show where we all are. So right now we have just exited turn 4, entering Kenny Kink. Of course, since this is Denver, we gotta name everything after South Park characters. So field goes through the carousel of turn 5. Let's go down to your race analysis at the bottom left-hand side of your screen. 24 laps are on the docket for today's race around this 3.7-mile road course. Your pit window should be between 12 and 14 laps as the field goes through the S's. Single stop race this afternoon. And last year's winner here on the Denver Roval was Brennan Wilmington in the 62 car. He starts 13th on the grid here this afternoon. And there are quite a few trouble spots here at Denver. Going through turn 10, this is going to be a trouble spot, especially on the start, as will the entrance of turn 3. Of course, as the field will go through the Cartman chicane, that is going to be one hell of an area to snap some pictures, especially with those cars going over the sausage curbs. Wolf and Parrish will lead the field back out onto the back straightaway towards Oval Turn 3, which on here is Roval Turn 14. About to go through the chicane. I do want to mention that there was a finicky pit wall here last year that really screwed over a couple of drivers. We have removed that wall and replaced it with a tire barrier right at the entrance of pit lane, so nobody's going to be screwed out of the race during green flag pit stops. But Wolf and Parrish lead the field through Cartman chicane. This is going to be one heck of a trouble spot all day long, as the Ford Shelby pace car will make its way down the pit lane. Matt Wolf and Will Parrish will see the green flag right now. They're through the race's restart zone. We are green flag racing here in the Mile High City. Matt Wolf got a great jump on the start as they go through turn 3. Here comes Ryan Durrani to the inside of Will Parrish for position. Everybody makes it into the infield without any incident. But through the kink, it is Wolf, Durrani, and the battle for third between the 20 of Alexander and Parrish heats up. Looks like Parrish is going to take that position away from Alexander. Here comes Idell cutting his way through the pack, started in the 7th position, making his way through as the field makes its way through the S's. And turn 10, this is going to be the trouble spot this afternoon. Zidell started 9th. So make sure everybody makes their way through. Nobody gets cockeyed going through turn 10. And no, they do not through the short chute. Through the turn 11 kink, Wolf leads the field. A little bit wide he goes. So does Durrani through 12 and 13. Parrish is going to take advantage of Durrani's gaff. Try to get to the inside of him going through Oval 3. But Matt Wolf already with a great start. But he's going to lead this field through the chicane. And watch out, ladies and gentlemen. The field is going through Cartman right now. A little bit of contact there. Everybody getting through the chicane nice and orderly. And just as I say that, Ethan Lewis will go over the sausage curbs. Lauren Martinez with a lot of damage. And I think I saw Derek Hamill head down the pit lane and trying to avoid it. He indeed will. I don't think there was an issue. No, there was. I don't know if there was an issue or if he was just ducking down to avoid the 17, the 7, and the 44. But Hamill already towards the back end of the field, and that has just been the story of this season for Ethan Lewis. going around up over the sausage curbs, and we've had somebody go around, and it's Logan Williams along with the 88 and the 24, and they're going to be stuck on that side of the course. Someone going off along here as well. So 2 chase drivers with issues already in this race. I hear some thumping back in here, but I think it might be the 24 and the 88. They've got a lot of damage. So we're going to have at least 3 cars out of this one. Martinez with her damage. It's definitely going to be towards the back as Caleb Rose has damage in the 32 machine. Not sure what happened there with Caleb. But an eventful lap 2 of the race as we go back to the front of the field. Matt Wolf loses a little bit of time to Ryan Durrani. But the top 3 remain the same, with the only change is Durrani is now in second. Will Parrish is third. Nathan Stapleton pops up into the 4th position as they go through Cartman once again. Here comes Stapleton trying to get to the inside of the 40. Make sure nobody else has issues going through the chicane. Ooh, a little bit turns as Brandon Yodel will go around off the rear end of the 92. And the 54, Diego Vasquez, will hit the pit lane to try and avoid. Yodel will go around. Somebody else, you see the 05 is down the pit lane. That's Owen Miles. Not sure. I thought that was someone else behind Miles. It was just the 24, Riley Sampson, who is trying to get repairs. So we see the skid marks. Of course, since this is a road course, there are no cautions. So we will review all accidents at the end of the race. But Diego Vasquez going to be towards the back in the field early. See a lot of debris being shelled off. I don't think these guys are going to lose a lap. That is definitely a good break for Derek Hamill. And he does have a 55-point cushion over Logan Williams. That helps that Williams was caught up in an accident as well. So the top 2 in points having issues on the same lap. I'm liking what Jesse Turner is right now. Turner currently running 7th. At the moment, I believe would be your points leader. We'll see where everything cycles out. I was showing Hamill in 38th, but I believe he's going to be in about 32nd maybe. So things remain the same. I believe Turner should be the points leader by a good maybe 5 or 10 points. We won't know for sure until the checkered flag falls. Matt Wolf has opened up his lead over Durrani by quite a bit. He goes over the rumble strips. But no harm, no foul there for the New York native. And he has led all the laps so far. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Ryan Durrani in the 38. So max points at the moment is not obtained by the 84 just yet. But the top 4 on the track pulling away from the rest of the field. Now look back in here. There was Braden Perez caught up in the back with Brandon Yodel going around. But the field looks to be stretched out, as is at the moment. As Clifton goes down to the inside of Cole Sampson. There is Brennan Wilmington in the 62, currently running in the 11th position last time by. Excuse me, now he is 12th since Dano Georgi has gotten around him. So +1 so far for last year's winner, as Ryan Durrani is right on the back end of Matt Wolf. They were just through the S's entering turn 10. Durrani slowly gaining in on the 84 machine. Wolf looking for his 3rd win of the season. So is Durrani. Parrish looking for his 2nd win. Ooh, Wolf was a little wide on exit through 11. He's going to be wide on exit onto the oval layout. So was Parrish, but he will keep his position, and so will Wolf. But Durrani is going to imagine he's not going to make a move on Wolf just yet entering the chicane. But I wouldn't put it past him potentially do so. Through Cartman they go. Oh, a little bit wide there for Parrish, but he gets back on the road A-okay. But at the line. Durrani really behind the 84 of Matt Wolff. He's going to get a nice slipstream going through the corners and entering back on the infield. We'll see if anybody else was involved in an accident. Trying to see if Trey Smith has any rear end damage to the 52, but it does not appear that he does. Mitchell Collins, who had a rough qualifying go, currently sits in 23rd. Actually, he started 29th, so my mistake there. He's made up a little bit of ground, but once these guys get strung out like this, as you see Stapleton passes Parrish for third, gets really hard to make passes, and that's why the pit stops are going to be so crucial, especially like we saw last season with Brennan Wilmington taking advantage of 4 fresh tires compared to Durrani's 2 fresh tires, of getting to the end of last year's Autobox 300K. Matt Wolff still holding serve in the 84 machine. But how about Nathan Stapleton in that 97 car? Looking for a second win of the year. He started back in... trying to see where... 4th. I was wondering where he started in, so... was 4th for the majority of this race, now up to 3rd. Second fastest car on the racetrack, only to Ryan Durrani. 3rd is Tyler Reynolds. So that's good for the 19 team, trying to find some speed. But Wolff now with a commanding lead over Durrani as the field gets really strung out. 19 to go here from Denver. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but since we're on a 3 3/4 mile road course, that is quite a distance to cover, as here comes Stapleton down to the inside of Durrani for second. He's going to have the preferred line going into the infield. Does Durrani let off and potentially pull a crossover move going through the infield? No, he will not. And Stapleton will take second away from Durrani, and he's going to try and hunt down this 84 of Matt Wolff. And 97. He does have the second fastest lap on the track, but last time by, put down a 150.541. Not as fast as Durrani, but he is definitely cutting through the air a lot quicker than everybody else. As here comes Turner to the inside of Zidell. This is for 7th. Zidell actually had the position. Turner will get it back. But it is all Matt Wolff at the front at the moment. He has led the most laps. He was the pole sitter. As Brandon Yodel in the back of the field once again. Not sure if he hit something else. Not entirely sure on that. We'll take a look at everybody that's been knocked out of the race so far, which was Elijah Gordon, Riley Sampson, and Lauren Martinez, her first DNF in her young MBCS career. 39 cars remain on the racetrack. All of them are on the lead lap so far. But that is definitely going to change once we get into the pit cycle, or if we have any more carnage in the field. As Wolff goes through Cartman once again. See if Durrani or Parrish try to get around the 97 machine. The field strung out for the most part. Here comes Daisy Johnson trying to get to the outside of Dano Georgi. This is for 10th. Brennan Wilmington back in 12th. Just needs a really good point stay. Stapleton now pulling away from Durrani. See if he's able to catch Wolff here in the late stages of this one. The early stages of this one. A little less than a third of the way through this one here from the Denver Roval. If you're just tuning in, we've had a couple of different accidents so far in this one. And Matt Wolff has led all the laps after starting from the pole. Had an amazing jump on the start. And he is still out front in the Go Bowling Monte Carlo for Polar Star Motorsports. Speaking of Polar Star Motorsports, Jesse Turner back out front of the 78 of Justin Zidell. And we got to go all the way back in the back of the field to the 29th position to find the boss man of PSM. 25 of Nathan Smith, who's getting around the 81 of Jordan Lopez. Now he'll set his sights on Braden Perez. Check in where all your chase drivers are at the moment. Matt Wolf is third. Ryan Durrani fourth. Ryan Durrani is third. Will Parrish is fourth. There's Jesse Turner in seventh. Eighth is Justin Zidell. There's Daniel Georgi rounding out your top 10. Brandon Wilmington 12th. Gotta go back. Keegan Thompson currently 18th. And Mitchell Collins down to the inside of Eric Monaco. This is for 23rd. Remain 23rd. 28th is Braden Perez. And there's 47, Derek Hamill, 33rd. Logan Williams, 36th. Those are your top two guys in points, and I'm loving where Matt Wolf and Jesse Turner are running at the moment. We go back to the front end. Ooh, Stapleton has really closed up a bit on the 84, but here comes Durrani, who looked to have a chance on Stapleton exiting turn 4. But Stapleton holds serve, loses a bit of ground in the 84 machine. And this is by far one of the most technical road courses we go to this season. Not nearly as technical, actually, a whole lot more technical than, say, Watkins Glen or Willow Springs or, heck, even Bridgehampton. And hey, definitely a lot less technical than Papyrus, since that is basically a super speedway. But right now, Matt Wolf coming around to 16 laps to go. Okay, he really goes wide through turn 12. But he is no worse for wear in the 84 car. So you see the entirety of the track through the spectator cam. Definitely one of the more picturesque racing facilities we go to in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Here comes Jesse Turner down to the inside of Juan Rodriguez. This is for 6th. They make contact. They almost made contact going through the corner. Thankfully, they keep it straight. For now, I should say. At the line, Stapleton definitely closing in on Matt Wolf as we work on lap 9 of 24. We're about 4 laps away from our only set of pit stops. Looks like, I believe those are the same tire tracks as before, with the 24 and the 88. But Stapleton right on Matt Wolf as they go through turns 4, entering the kink for the 9th time this afternoon. He might have a run on Matt going through the carousel, but not going to get there in time to have an edge. These two make contact. We know Ryan Durrani has been in this exact situation at this exact same racetrack before. So it'll be interesting to see if Durrani makes any chance of just laying back in third and just letting the idiots in front of him knock each other out. But the top 4 pulling away from Alexander in the 20. Now Jesse Turner, who runs 6th, will set his sights on the 20 to potentially get in the top 5. But the top 4 all on top of one another as Wolf goes wide through the corner once again. Stapleton back on the rear. He'll get another good run entering the chicane this time by. Does he use the bumper? Not at this stage of the race, but he was going to have a good run before he checked up. Wolf continues to lead, and those Hoosier tires are absolutely running out, or running out of tread here, I should say. But once they get fresh Hoosiers on, oh boy, these guys are going to be ripping it around this track. But Matt Wolf currently leads if you were just tuning in. Nathan Stapleton in hot pursuit of the 84. Ryan Durrani runs 3rd. Will Parrish runs 4th. And rounding out your top 5 is a 20 of Logan Alexander. Since we're about a lap or 2, actually we'll do the full field rundown after the cycle of pit stops. because that's going to get pretty nuts. We've got a interesting battle for the race lead brewing as Stapleton had a nice run on the 84, but not able to get to Matt just then in time. Ryan will try and make something happen going through the S's. The top three remain the same. Everybody remains the same on the racetrack. I don't see anybody in any weird place. Back to the front. Wolf has really opened it up over Nathan. See if he goes wide through the corner once again. He will just a little bit, but he'll keep it on his line. Stapleton keeps it on his line. Girani's still third. This is absolutely the calm before the storm. We saw it last year. Pit stops got absolutely bat poop crazy. And it's been a pretty interesting race so far. Not as interesting on the start as it was last year, but still pretty interesting. As Wolf has led all 10 laps so far here at Denver. But Stapleton trying to conserve what he's got in the 97, and I tell you, the end of this race is going to be one to watch. We saw it come down to the last lap last year between Ryan Durrani and Brendan Wilmington. And since this is a road course, they're going to obviously be pitting under green. So do you take 2 tires? Do you take 4 tires? I would absolutely recommend taking 4 tires, because we saw it last year. The track position is going to get you a little bit of points, but the win is ultimately where it matters the most. And if I'm a guy like Ryan Durrani, actually, if I'm a guy like Jesse Turner, I'm only minus 150 from the cut line. If I only take 2 tires, I'm going to get track position. I might get passed for the win, but I'll still probably get second or third. It'll be a great points day for Jesse Turner, irregardless, since the 47 and the 17 have had their issues. So if I'm Turner, I'm going to take 2 tires on the stop, get out in the front, lead a couple of laps, probably just fall off towards the end, finish second or third, and hey, I'm going to be the points leader going into the oval race tomorrow. So that's what I would personally do if I was Jesse Turner. But that's just me personally. It's Durrani closing in on Nathan Stapleton. Next time by will be the halfway point through the Denver 300K at the Denver Roval. Matt Wolf has led them all this afternoon, but we are just about to enter the pit cycle. And that is where everything is going to get nuts. You want to get nuts? We're getting nuts here at Denver. But Wolf at the line will lead next time by. He will see the cross flags from the flag stand. Knowing we are halfway home through this one here. It's been a relatively calm race so far. But you know what they say, this is absolutely the calm before the storm at Denver. And Wolf down into the road course section of the track once again. Top 4 still pulling away from Logan Alexander, but Alexander has gotten a little bit in front of, gained a little bit of ground on them, I see. Stapleton ducked out of line. I thought he had a run on Wolf, but he will just stick to his line. Actually, he's going to go a little bit wide through the corner. This will open the door for Durrani to potentially take second back. Will Parrish is just going to rock and forth right now. No harm, no foul for the driver of the 40 car. But the New York native currently leading the Cincinnati and the Las Vegas natives here on the podium. Chevrolet looking to get back in victory lane this season. Although I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, Logan Alexander won at Greenville Spartanburg. So it's been only one race since the bow ties have been to victory lane. It's been a weird season for Chevrolet. Dominated the first 10 races, then had a horrendous losing streak. But Matt Wolf, Chevrolet currently leading the field. And next time by will be the pit cycle, but this time by, Matt Wolff sees the cross flags from the flag stand. We are officially halfway home through the Denver 300K. So you know what? These guys are running about 2 minutes times. So let's get your full field rundown presented by Exalta out of the way. Matt Wolff currently leads. Nathan Stapleton is second. Ryan Durrani running third, but he is under fire from Will Parrish in fourth. Rounding out your top 5 is a 20 of Logan Alexander. 6th is Jesse Turner. 7th is Justin Zidell. 8th is Zidell's teammate of Juan Rodriguez. 9th is Dano Georgi. And 10th is Aiden McCrow. Battle for 11th heats up between the 07 of Daniel Bouchard and the 53 of Daisy Johnson. 13th is Brandon Wilmington. 14th is 28 of Cameron Garlington. 15th is Charlie Davenport. P16 is a 00 of Thomas Troxel. 17th is Cole Sampson. 18th is Keegan Thompson. 19th is the 1 of Zachary Davis. And 20th is Alex Lozano. 21st is the 45 of Mitchell Collins. 22nd is Eric Monaco. 23rd is Josh Williamson. 24th is the 19 of Tyler Reynolds. 25th is Zachary Fitzwater. 26th is Braden Perez. 27th is Jordan Lopez. 28th is Roberto Crown Jr. 29th is Madison Tall, who's got a little bit of front-end damage to that 99 machine. And 30th is 16 of Noah Clifton. 31st is Diego Vasquez. 32nd is Nathan Smith. 33rd is Trey Smith. 34th is a 7 of Ethan Lewis. 35th is a lot of cars coming off the pit lane that are off the tail end of the lead lap. Could we see the pit cycle beginning to start here? The window does open this time by. We'll see if the leaders elect to come down the pit lane. And indeed they will. It is feeding time on pit lane. So the field is led down by Matt Wolff in the 84. We'll see where everybody else is as the eyes of the official watch from above. We'll see what Matt Wolff does on the pit lane, but Derek Hamill, Logan Williams are the other chase drivers. They are outside the top 30. And the guys on the bottom 3 of Lauren Martinez, Riley Sampson, and Elijah Gordon are all out of this race. I imagine it's going to be 4 tires for Matt Wolff, but we'll see if anybody rolls the dice. It looks like it's going to be a 2-tire stop for everybody, actually. Does anybody take 4 is the question. A little bit of a logjam here. They are using the F1 layout of the pit lane. But it looks like 2 tires for the majority of the field. And Nathan Stapleton gets out front of Matt Wolff. A lightning fast pit stop from the 97. It's Matt Wolff. It's got Ryan Durrani right behind him. And remember from last season, chase drivers right on top of one another. Coming off of the pit lane. It's going to get crazy here, especially going into turn 11. But right now, this is not the battle for the points lead. But I believe, no, Matt Wolff is mathematically not able to take the points lead away from anybody right now. That is Jesse Turner's department, who he had a great pit stop. I guess everybody heard the advice I was giving to Jesse Turner. Turner obviously took it. But everybody else apparently took it. But Nathan Stapleton out front here this afternoon. And Logan Alexander has come to play. This is the battle for second. These guys make contact going through 11. No, they do not. Back in here. A couple of chase drivers all on top of one another. But right now, it is Nathan Stapleton with a green racetrack in front of him. They will eventually have to catch up to Brandon Yodel. And any other lap cars, if deemed possible, if deemed necessary. Justin Zidell was 20th that time by. Currently leads as, oh boy, it's a logjam going through the kink. And here's Matt Wolff, and Wolff is going to spin Nathan Stapleton. Oh dear, it's happened again. Oh my god. Why does this always happen to Ryan Durrani? Oh my god. Matt Wolff just took out Nathan Stapleton. And ladies and gentlemen, get the boxing ring erected in the pit area. We're going to see these guys throw hands Why? Why does this always happen? Now you're going to tell me that Jesse Turner probably did take 4 tires. He's going to outrun these guys, and Ryan Durrani is going to finish second again. That's the second year in a row. Ryan Durrani, who was running third at the time, sees the leaders take one another out. That time, it was through the kink. Oh my God. Why? Why? Trying to see where Logan Alexander ended up. He's got back in 20th. But Nathan Stapleton made contact with the 20 machine. Why? Actually, no, I believe it was Matt Wolff that got run into by Logan Alexander. You see the rear end damage, and your pole sitter taking no prisoners, but unfortunately took himself as prisoner. He's back to 7th. But Durrani now with a clean racetrack in front of him. I'm absolutely speechless from that, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe that happened again. To Ryan Durrani of all drivers, the same exact situation. But right now it's Chase drivers running 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll see if Matt Wolff comes down the pit lane. No, he does not. He's just going to try and ride it all out. Don't see any of the Chase drivers coming down the pit lane or any of the drivers that were caught up in that accident, but I can't believe that happened to Ryan Durrani again. I still can't believe that happened to Ryan Durrani again. What the hell, ladies and gentlemen? So Durrani leads. That puts Justin Zeidel in second. Will Parrish third. Jesse Turner fourth. So the way things run at the moment, Turner is going to be your points leader going into the oval race tomorrow. Not sure who else was involved in an accident. We are going to review all the accidents that either took out drivers or involved Chase drivers that put them on the tail end of the 8-ball. But it is Durrani in the 38. Currently leading at the moment. Zeidel in second. Go back to here. There's Matt Wolff still trying to fight off the 28 of Cameron Garlington, and now it is 9th that Wolff has fallen back to. Not the worst of circumstances. He was at, I'm not going to try and defend anything that Matt Wolff did. That was a chicken poop move that he pulled there on Stapleton. That's going to send Stapleton back to 12th. But man, that wasn't even for a midway race in the field. That was for first. The top two getting together. And of course, since it's the Denver Roval and nothing can happen, nothing logical can happen, Ryan Durrani goes to the front. Why? I don't know why I'm still tickled pink about this. It's just... Oh my God. So in the middle of all that chaos, we've got less than 10 laps to go. We're going to have about 8 to go next time by. Excuse me, 7 to go. Got 8 to go this time by, 7 to go this next time by. I don't know anything anymore. Everything is upside down because Ryan Durrani had the exact same thing that happened to him last year, happened to him this year. I don't see anybody making their way through the field like Brendan Wilmington did. I don't think anybody took 4 tires as Wilmington has damage in the 62. I'm not sure if he ran in the back end of Stapleton or who he ran in the back end of anybody, but you see that hood on that Camry is crinkled up just a little bit. As Durrani will go through turns 12 and 13 for the 17th time this afternoon. And the way things are running at the moment, it looks like Durrani is going to get redemption from last year by winning in the way he should have won last year. But I don't think anybody was smart enough to put on 4 tires. But we won't know until the end, but this time by 7 laps to go here from the Denver Roval. If you are just tuning in, oh boy. If you remember last year's kerfuffle or showdown between a couple of guys, between Aiden McCrow and Braden Perez, it was pretty much the exact same thing between Matt Wolf and Nathan Stapleton. The only thing is, those two weren't in the chase. But that has put Ryan Durrani at a 3.1 second lead over Justin Zeidel. I believe Zeidel took 2 tires as well. He's gained a little bit of ground on Durrani. We won't know for sure unless Zeidel catches up to Durrani, passes him the same way that Brennan Wilmington did last year. I laughed my ass off even more. Then we check the tapes and see if that Zeidel actually took 4 tires. But we won't know for another 7 or so laps. I don't think Durrani's going to catch up to the 79 of Brandon Yodel as well. We see Logan Alexander has really fallen off. I don't believe that was a mechanical failure on the 20. I think he's just that slow, and that really bites for Logan Alexander, who is in position to have a top 5 run, but just getting caught up in Matt Wolf and Nathan Stapleton's shenanigans. Puts him all the way back in the lower 30s. But Durrani just running his race at the moment, not trying to run on rails, but running well enough to where he's going to try and cruise on to his 3rd win of the season. And if that were so, this would be a well-needed race for Ryan Durrani. He currently sits minus 362 away from Derek Hamill. I say the biggest winner of today is absolutely going to be Jesse Turner going into the oval race tomorrow. We'll see at the line what the interval is, and oh boy, Justin Zeidel is indeed catching to the back end of Ryan Durrani. He closed in a 1/4 of a second. So hang on, folks. We're not over here just yet. I can't imagine that Justin Zeidel took 2 tires, or 4 tires, I should say. But he does have the drafting help from Will Parrish. So if those 3 drivers are able to get up into here, we could have a nice 3-car battle for the race lead. Fastest lap still belongs to Ryan Durrani off the start. No surprise there. Durrani's still running his race, but you can definitely see the 78 and the 40 catching him that time by. Do I spy with my little eye a little bit of hood damage on that 38? I believe I see a little crinkle in the sheet metal on Durrani. I don't believe he made contact with Matt Wolf, but there is definitely some damage there. Indeed, there is compared to the 78. Oh, that hood is definitely up on Durrani. So hold your horses, ladies and gentlemen. This race is far from over. Durrani with the damage. Looks like he's going to be at an aerodynamic disadvantage. But he's running a good race so far. But he is definitely at a disadvantage with the 78 of Zeidel at the line. Durrani, we'll see how much the 78 closed in. He actually lost time to Durrani. So it doesn't look like that hood damage is doing Durrani a whole lot of bad. As we've got 5 laps to go here from Denver for Ryan Durrani. He's got a 3-second lead over Justin Zeidel. If I'm Zeidel, it's go time for me in that 78 car. Same for Will Parrish. Jesse Turner is just mellowing out at the moment. And Noah Clifton just came out of the pit lane. He is going to be a little bit of a pick in front of these guys. Go back in here. Doesn't look like anybody new is towards the back end of the field. Except, oh no, Brendan Wilmington is blown up. So a bad break for Brendan Wilmington. It was an engine failure for the 62, obviously. And that is going to put Wilmington all the way back in 39th. And that was the worst case scenario for Brennan Wilmington. And he is effectively going to need a couple of wins to put himself in championship contention, because he was minus 300 from Derek Hamill. He's going to be at least a race's worth of points, maybe 2 races worth of points away from Jesse Turner by the time this is all said and done. But Will Parrish, don't count out Parrish. He's minus 245 away from the cut line, I believe. Excuse me, not the cut line, from Hamill entering this race. I'd say the way things are running, Jesse Turner will be in the points lead. Will Parrish will be second. Trying to see who would be third. I believe that would probably be Matt Wolf, given that he's running at the line 13th, but look behind him. Nathan Stapleton right behind Matt Wolf, as Wolf is actually 12th. That time by, Durrani lost a little bit of time, but with 3 laps to go, Zidell is going to need to put the pedal to the metal. What a great day this is for Jesse Turner. Started in 11th, was plus 7 at, plus 6 at the moment. Plus 7 actually, excuse me. So good day for Jesse Turner. He's got to pick between himself and the 48. So, I guess the most exciting battle right now is between Zidell and the 40 of Will Parrish. But we don't know how much that hood damage is going to affect Ryan Durrani, especially as those tires really begin to wear out. Man, we still got a long ways to go through this race. As we look down, it was... not sure. Wilmington's still on the pit lane. I think they're trying to fix the issue. But he is going to fall at least a lap down. And it has all gone down the toilet for Brennan Wilmington. A really bad couple of runs have put him behind the 8 ball. And I believe coming out of this race, he's probably going to be second to last in points behind Mitchell Collins. Well, I don't know where Mitchell Collins is. Actually, Collins is running 16th, so Wilmington is going to be last in points. Definitely a bum deal for Wilmington. Still on the pit lane. They have not diagnosed what the issue was. But 3 laps to go. Last time by was 4 to go, excuse me. 3 laps to go this time by for Ryan Durrani. Lost a 1/10 of a second there to the 78 of Zidell. But Zidell is going to need to have a flying lap this time by if he wants any chance of catching up to this 38 car. So Durrani, I don't believe this would be max points. It definitely wouldn't be max points since he didn't get the pole. I don't know if he led the most laps, but he's got the fastest lap. And he's currently en route to his 3rd win of the season. How about that for the Green Day Nimrod sponsored car? Green Day celebrating their 25th anniversary of their 1997 album Nimrod. Through turn 13 he goes. He will see popsicle sticks in the air from the flag stand this time by. Turner just laying back and hoping these guys get together somehow. But Zidell, we don't even see Durrani in frame. Oh, Zidell had a really bad lap that last time by. So unless Durrani has some sort of mechanical issue, I believe Ryan's going to be in the catbird seat to win this race. Popsicle 6 in the air, 2 laps to go from the Denver Roval. And yo boy, Durrani opened up a 3 1/4 second lead. He put a half second over Justin Zidell, and Durrani is turning on the jets. See him as Zidell and Parrish are just entering the frame. Durrani just running away like he stole it. We go back to Jesse Turner. Turner's just trying to hold up the rest of the field at this point. And I don't blame him, just letting the top three sort it out themselves. You're going to be the points leader coming into tomorrow's race anyway. Which, that's going to be an interesting race. But Turner currently running fourth, excuse me. Battle for second is not as hot as many would like it to be, but still somewhat steamy. But it's Ryan Durrani, a lap and a half away from his fourth career win. He would be tied for third all time with Madison Tall. Madison Tall is tied for second with Nathan Smith. Trying to remember who has 4 wins, so he will be tied for fourth with somebody on the all-time wins list in the Mitchell BBQ Cup Series. It's not too late for anybody to potentially topple Keegan Thompson off of that pillar. He is held through pretty much the entirety of his Mitchell BBQ Cup Series career. But through the Cartman chicane for the second to final time, Ryan Durrani will see the white flag in the air. And one more time around the Denver Roval, 3.75 miles to go in the Denver 300K. That time by Durrani has opened it up to a 3.5 second lead. But Zidell, given the bad luck he has had throughout the first 3 races of the chase, I think he would like to take second. It's not the best result, and hey, second sucks. But when you're getting beat by 3.5 seconds for second, sucks a little bit less. But through the infield portion of the track, through the Kenny's Kink for the final time this afternoon, Ryan Durrani. It was through turn 5 1 year ago that Durrani lost the race lead to Brennan Wilmington. Wilmington had a header issue. He will finish 39th and will be back last in the point standings. But it was through turn 10. Ryan Durrani officially saw Brennan Wilmington clear him through the windshield, taking advantage of 4 fresh tires to Durrani's 2. Durrani made the same call this year, knowing that track position would probably help him. And the leaders once again taking each other out through a technical part of the track. Put your little hands in mine, ladies and gentlemen, through oval turns 3 and 4. If he can get through the chicane, Ryan Durrani is on his way to his 3rd win of 2022. Through Cartman for the final time. No issues going through the chicane. Ryan Durrani for American Motorsports will see his 3rd checkered flag of the season. Durrani wins the Denver 300K. And it's a drag race for second at the line. Parrish trying to get everything out of his Monte Carlo he could. Turner will lose 4th to the... Actually, no. Clifton was 4th. So Turner will fall out of the top 5. I thought Clifton was a lap down. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It was a last lap pass for Turner and the 40 for Clifton and the 48 of Rodriguez. But Turner will more than likely be the points leader after this. Zidell and Parrish showing their pleasure with one another. Let's go alongside being a good sport. And there, oh boy, it's going to be on the pit lane here, ladies and gentlemen. Nathan Stapleton has not got to be happy with the way that Matt Wolf raced him. But Ryan Durrani for American Motorsports, as the rest of the field will cycle around. We'll make sure the race is official before we go into the post-race show and make sure everything is good, said and done. There's Derek Hamill coming home to salvage a 31st place finish. Not good, but not terrible. I believe Hamill will actually be second with that finish from Hamill. Actually, Turner will be first. Hamill will probably be a close second. We won't know for another couple of minutes. But Ryan Durrani wins the race, gets the fastest lap bonus. And here are your official standings from the Denver Roval. Ryan Durrani wins the Denver 300K. Justin Zeidel, not very close at all. 4-second gap between Durrani and Zeidel. But hey, Zeidel, it's a huge points day. He takes advantage of Derek Hamill. A lot of chase drivers having issues. He comes home to finish second. Will Parrish rounds out the top three, just like how they started. It's a podium. Chase drivers all on the podium. Noel Clifton and Juan Rodriguez round out your top five. Jesse Turner, 6. I believe he should be the points leader. We'll have to take a look in a second. Aiden McCrow, 7th. Daniel Bouchard, 8th. Cameron Garlington, 9th. And Dano Georgi, great run for the Santa Barbara native, who's a chase driver. Take a look at the rest of your field. We had 3 cars finish the race in the garage area. Brandon Wilmington having a mechanical issue. He's going to need a win or probably a top 5 tomorrow if he wants any chance of getting this championship. And it's been a rough season so far for Brennan. It's been a rough chase so far for Brendan Wilmington. He has not had a good run, and he is currently minus 300. He was minus 300 from Derek Hamill coming into this race. He's going to be a little bit more than that, but we did have a couple of incidences that occurred on the racetrack. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what happened to knock out Riley Sampson, Elijah Gordon, and all the other incidences that put drivers out of contention for the dub at the Denver Roval. So this was on the first lap of the race. You're going to see Brandon Yodel lock up the brakes getting into Cartman, gets into Lauren Martinez, who in turn gets into the 7 of Ethan Lewis. Lewis almost goes upside down over the sausage curves. He is able to get back out on the track. No harm, no foul. But Derek Hamill came down the pit lane to avoid that accident. And ended up just going down the pit lane, getting some adjustments on the car. No harm, no foul there. But that put Hamill behind the 8 ball early on in the race. And that is what ultimately would knock out Lauren Martinez of the Denver 300K. This was the battle for 16th on lap 2, as you're going to see Logan Williams gets turned by Owen Miles into the outside wall. Williams over the sausage curbs, nowhere for Elijah Gordon or Riley Sampson to go. And the unfortunate way is Caleb Rose gets turned around off the front end of Madison Tall, it looks like. And those two are going to have a little bit of an adventure. I meant to take out that pit wall right there, but then they would have been back out on the racetrack, and God knows what would have happened. But then Elijah Gordon does that, and they teleport back to pit lane. Pretty much quintessential NR there. So unfortunately, thanks to Owen Miles having to show that Reese's was better than Hershey's, and unfortunately takes out the Oreos machine and the Peak Antifreeze machine. 4 delicious treats getting caught up in one single accident. Brandon Yodel, once again, not learning his lesson going through the chicane. Goes underneath the 92, Braden Perez, and almost gets run over there by Lauren Martinez. Thankfully, he was not run over, but Braden Perez gets a little bit of damage, and unfortunately, knocks him out of contention for this one. So we're going to have to do a slow motion replay for this one, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see Ryan Durrani pop the 84 of Matt Wolf in the rear end. And that's going to shoot Wolf right out beside the 97 Nathan Stapleton. Durrani pops him in the rear end once again. That is where Durrani got his hood damage. But then you're going to see Wolf go down to the inside of Nathan Stapleton, and it's just going to flat out turn Nathan Stapleton around. Didn't even try to move out of the way. I'm going to see Wolf come back up the racetrack and then just get run into by Logan Alexander. Alexander goes sideways across the track. And Durrani is just thinking, why? Why does this always happen to me? I ain't complaining. But that was pretty funny. Justin Zeidel threads the needle between Alexander and Wolf. So will the 43 of Jesse Turner. No harm, no foul there. And I believe that was the Sam Adams move of the race. It's not actually Sam Adams. Valvoline, Coors Light. I've got so many brands and logos on my desk. Who knows? But that was definitely the move of the race for Ryan Durrani. and that is what ultimately put him in Gatorade victory lane for the third time in 2022 in the Mission BBQ Cup Series. Clutch performance out of Ryan Durrani. But that's going to do it here from the Denver Motorsports Park. Congratulations once again to Ryan Durrani for winning the Denver 300K. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow on the oval layout of the Denver Motorsports Park for the South Park 400 presented by Denver Mattress right here on the NASRN. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Here are your point standings after race 29 of the 2022 NR2003 Mission BBQ Cup Series season. And from Aurora, Colorado, this concludes our broadcast on the North American Sim Racing Network. Study hard, get good sleep, and as always, lads, practice safe sex. Until next time, I've been Trey Wright for the NASRN. Have a great evening, folks.